Welcome, everybody, to Night of the Nerdy Laser, episode 150. I'm your host, as always, Richard. I am the devil, and I am here to do the devil's work. Yule?
Jeez, I'm just Jeff Lown.
My mother would be appalled right now. But I said that because we're talking Mr. Otis Driftwood, we're talking Baby Firefly, we're talking Captain Spaulding, Wolfman, and the whole Firefly gang on Rob Zombie's Firefly Trilogy. Yay!
We are. Yeah. Oh, yeah, episode 150.
150, that's pretty good, huh?
We did it. They said we would never do it.
We said we would never do it.
We proved them wrong.
Wonder how many episodes of Nerdy Laser I did. I can't remember. Oh, no, we did make it to 100 on Nerdy Laser. I think we went to about 120.
Is that when you rebranded with the new logo and all that?
Yeah, Nerdy Laser was when, I mean, it was a pretty solid show. Like, I liked doing it. It kind of went all over the place because I had a co-host, and then I lost a co-host, and then I just begged people to come on the show, and then me and Matt started, and Matt became my co-host, and then it just kind of turned into horror talk. But on Nerdy Laser, episode 100 is where we talked with Bill Allen from Rad.
Oh, that's right.
I wish that was video, but I could still technically put some of them out, but I don't want to. So yeah, been podcasting for a while just on these two shows, and then we did a ton of pro wrestling roundtables.
Yeah,
we did a lot of horror assignments. We've done a lot of podcasting.
Fistful of Actions.
I didn't do that many, but I did some.
I thought you were on for about 15 or 20 of them.
Oh, probably. That seems
more than
right.
you think. Yeah. I don't remember how many that show even went.
I don't know.
And then Dead
Not
End
100. Probably 50 to 60.
Something like that. And then Dead End Grindhouse was a weird one. It was hit or miss. So, and the Film Fanatics podcast was my first one. That I think went 2 episodes. So,
well, realistically, we are past 150, right? Because we've done some special episodes and such. And 100 was the Saw. Isn't that when we did Saw?
Yeah.
We did 4.5 hours of the movie Saw.
Just what everybody wanted.
The whole franchise, yeah.
Yeah. And had to circle back for part 10.
It's not what I wanted.
And we're going to have to circle back for part 11 sometime.
But is it part 10 or is it X? Because it wasn't really 10. It was really
9.
2.5.
2.5.
All right. So let's get down to it. We got some new movie trailers going.
Yeah.
One I knew about. One, I mean, neither one of us had heard about. But we'll talk about Robert Eggers' Nosferatu. The trailer dropped. What'd you think?
I mean, true to Robert Eggers' form, it looks very, period piece with lots of beautiful shots, like dark grays and blues and whites and blacks and stuff like that. Man, Willem Dafoe, I can't wait to see what he does in it. I always find him like to be a good part of any movie. Yeah, he is. I'm somewhat of a vampire myself. That's what he would say if he was Spider-Man vampire. But yeah, he I think he'll make it, that movie. I hope his role's important in it anyway.
Because Bill Skarsgård is in it, right?
I think. I haven't looked up the cast, honestly, just because I wanted to, other than the trailer, I wanted to go in blind. Because, I mean, there's so much that happens in that original movie, and I could only imagine what he does with this one to try to make it as accurate to that, or, expand on it, or whatever he wants to do, honestly. So
Eggers did The Witch and Lighthouse.
Mm-hmm.
I've not seen either one. I've tried to watch The Witch twice, and I get about 10 minutes, and I turn it off.
Saw that one in theaters, loved it. Actually got
I think I would like it if I would finish it, but there's something about it.
Yeah, we actually got it here, and then they stopped showing good movies after that. They were just like, no more of this. We don't want this. It's got to be something stupid. Um, he did The Northman too,
Oh yeah,
which bombed sadly. Essentially
that
bombed.
was
So,
Vikings, right?
yeah,
Yeah, I need to go on a Eggers trilogy.
that was on Peacock for the longest time. I don't know
Yeah, I
if
remember seeing it
yeah.
on there. Um, yeah, is the Lighthouse good? Did you like it?
I thought it was good. Saw that one in theater too, actually. So
Look at you.
yeah, I was. It's just it's like a crazy, crazy movie. But yeah, it's. I thought it was good. Very entertaining to me, anyway. But it just
Yeah, I'll try to add it to the list one day.
yeah, I'd do it if you have 6 hours. Throw
So,
them all on.
oh, I was like, dear God, one of those movies is 6 hours long.
No, but I'd watch it if they were.
Fuck, is it Lord of the Rings? Jesus. One of those movies went back into theaters for like the 25th anniversary or something crazy
Oh
to make
yeah,
you feel extra old, and it was 3 hours and 38 minutes long.
yeah. I think you text me, and I was like, oh
Jesus.
yeah, that's a lot. That is a lot.
um, there's really no movie I want to sit through for 3.5 hours.
But the Shire.
All right, so that one's from Focus Films, Focus Features, I believe.
I think so.
The next one is from A24, our favorite horror movie studio. I don't know if that's accurate. I meant to show. I meant to send this poster to you. There is a poster for Maxine, and it makes me not even want to see the movie.
Part of me wants to. I watched the trailer for that too, where they
I
like.
haven't seen it.
Okay, well,
I've avoided it.
And I don't know if it was a trailer or it was just a teaser that came out because I feel like it was only like 20 seconds what I watched. I saw a cast listing for that, and I was like, wow,
It's
we got
crazy. It's
quite the
like
cast.
Kevin Bacon and. But anyway, we're not here to talk about that. But this poster, I'll have to send it to you. She looks like it's a wax statue or something. It's just a shitty poster. I
Yeah,
mean, and they've been so good at their posters for these movies, and this one's just so bad. Um, but A24 is releasing a horror movie featuring Hugh Grant.
yeah, I didn't see that coming.
Never heard of this movie other than today, and I watched the trailer and I was completely blown away. Kind of hate that I watched the trailer, but it's called Heretic,
Yeah,
and it looks great. It looks like a cross between, um, to me, it looks like Human Centipede, really, because there's two girls and they go up to a house, and then and there's some creepy guy and invites them in. And then and Martyrs, maybe. I don't know.
yeah, I could see that. We'll see what it's about. I mean, there's obviously
I
going
mean,
to
it
be
looks great.
heavy religious angle.
I think if you really want to watch the trailer, I would shut it off about a minute in or so, maybe less than that. I think the end gives away more than I wanted it to, and I knew not to watch it, but I just couldn't help it because it's damn good, and Hugh Grant looks amazing in it.
The trick is to forget almost everything you do, like me.
I can't.
So,
I remember everything, Jeff.
well,
Everything.
good for you. Good, very good.
Um, what else? Game of Thrones. Why the hell are you talking about Game of Thrones on a horror
So
podcast?
I am watching that. That's another series I started. I made it through the first season and enjoyed it. The guys I play Xbox with, they're big fans of the books and the series. So
Well,
I'm trying
stop.
to
Don't watch the last season. Apparently, just
I'm
stop.
that's what they said, but I'm trying to like figure out who's who. There's every episode it's 50 new people, so you're like, oh cool, guy that I'll never remember his name. I wonder how he's related to this other guy that was from 300 years before. But I wanted to bring it up just because the House of the Dragon season 2 started.
Now I want to watch that. I've heard it's good, and you don't have to watch Game of Thrones.
And I heard they're doing another spin-off show for that and it's
I
based on Night of something night. They
I
told me.
imagine so because on HBO on Max now, I saw where they have a section called the World of Westeros or whatever.
Yeah.
I imagine they're going all in on it.
So it's like a prequel, and it's going to be based on the book called Night of the Seven Kingdoms, I think is what I literally just looked up and forgot. Night of the Seven Kingdoms, and it's about one of the Meister's brothers, I think. Evelyn? I don't know. I don't know the names. I'm not good with them. There's just too many. But so I've been watching it. This is the fourth time I've watched season 1 of Game of Thrones. The fourth time. And then when I get to season 2, I just stop watching the show.
I did that with Walking Dead. I watched Walking Dead season 1 like 3 times.
It's so good.
I mean, it's better than the rest of the seasons. At least it's better than the second and third season.
Which one is 3? The Governor?
I really only made it to season 2, so I don't know.
They're just on the farm going, "Where's that little girl? Where is she? Where is she?"
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not crazy about Game of Thrones, and knowing the end of the last season sucks. That gives me no. I just have no desire.
Yeah, I'll report back to you if I keep up with it. I hope I do, because I was enjoying it a little bit more. I think
you don't want to watch season 1 for the 5th time.
Yeah, I'm sure at some point I will. Just because I'll stop at like season 6.5 or something and be like, I better start over for no reason.
We're watching For All Mankind on Apple TV.
Yeah, I've heard it's good.
It's good shit, man. We're in second season right now. But it's so funny. So
is that like alternate history where Russia lands on the moon first or something like that?
Yeah, and it just kind of spirals from there. But there's a lot of time jumping too.
Oh, it's one of those.
So. Kinda. I mean, yes. But it's cool. It's so funny. I thought there were 12 episodes. And so we turned on the 10th episode the other night, and it's an hour and 20 minutes. And I was like, fuck. And well, that turned out to be the season finale, and we had no idea. Until the next night we turned it on. Then we turned it on, and it was like season 2. I was like, oh shit. I guess that's why a lot of shit happened.
Yeah, I was gonna say, wow, a lot of stuff happened in this random episode.
Well, and the weirdest part of that is like, and this isn't really a spoiler or anything, but like, I mean, we never watched the credits, right?
Oh yeah.
And so we went to watch the second season, and it wouldn't let you like fast forward. Like, it wouldn't let you skip to the next episode. And there was a scene at the end of there's a post-credit scene.
Oh, forcing you to watch it.
So it made us watch it.
That's funny.
Well, yeah, because who watches credits on streaming stuff? Screw that.
Yeah, there was one show I used to watch the credits for, and then I'd go to turn them off like 2 seconds before they ended. Then I was just like, I need to. My next show I want to jump into.
It's a good show, though. It's good.
It's on my list for sure. The other one I started on Apple was that physical one about the aerobics.
Oh yeah, you talked about that.
Yeah, I've watched another episode of it. It's kind of funny. I don't know what I started that for, but I've watched the first couple episodes a few times of that. But I do want to go back and start Servant, that M. Night Shyamalan.
Oh, I've heard it's good.
I've watched, I think, 4 episodes of that. When I went out to visit you, I was watching it on the plane because I had downloaded
Servant and Severance are really good.
Yeah. That's
all right. What about Legos do you like?
Well, they
Jeff
came out
with a Lego head, and I used to be, and I sort of am now, but me and Jeff are funny because I can take action figures out of the box, but he has to leave them in. And apparently he takes Legos out of the box, and I just leave them in the box.
Yeah.
But it has more to me to be lazy that I don't put together Legos.
I told you, mail them.
3 sets that are all in the box. One set is opened, like the top of it is, and I took all the bags out and I opened the instructions and I just closed it up. It's that Nintendo set, and I just closed it all back.
That's funny. That's funny.
It was like, oh, I don't have to. I mean, look, our table is not conducive for setting up Legos, and my cats will just destroy anything that I put on that table.
That's true. You got the cats. No, they came out with some new Speed Champions, which are the like little car figures. I find them kind of relaxing.
They're cool.
Yeah, I got like a 2-pack, a Mercedes one, then the Aston Martin 2-pack that came with like a F1 racing car, and then there was just I don't know what the other one was. I can't remember. It just looks like a space car. But then they announced 2 more. One's like a NASCAR car that's coming out. It's got like a body of a NASCAR. I can't probably a Ford or a Chevy, I'm guessing. And then one other one. But I've gotten pretty much all those sets that I've been working on. And then me, you, and Corey were talking about the Toonie Terrors. That's it for Legos. That's all I want to say is the car ones are fun and I like them.
Well, I got the ATV Technic one.
You need to do that and let me know how it goes.
I need to do that.
At least do that one.
It looks
that way it has wheels, and if the cats like slap it, they're just playing with it at that point, trying to get it to go.
My mom bought them these balls with bells in them, you know. They give 2 shits about it. I roll it, they just watch it.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll even roll it up to them, and it just bumps into them, and they just stare at it.
Why are you inconveniencing me?
When Dorito and my other cat Dusty were kittens, I played ball with them every night. Like we would chase, I would throw the ball, and all 3 of us would run and go get it. It was fun, and then they became assholes.
Yeah, well, that's the life cycle of a cat. But
kitten, asshole, death.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, but yeah, we were talking Toonie Terrors, so I went on to Big Bad, and I ended up grabbing Herbert West. They had
you got Herbert?
Yeah, I got Herbert. They had him. They had the Miner from My Bloody Valentine. Finally.
Oh, I love it.
And I pre-ordered. What the hell did I pre-order? Oh, Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
The Pretty Woman.
I got the regular one to start out with.
Oh, I already have him.
I did because I never had the original one. This new one, they have like a green
video.
This new one, they have like a green saw.
Oh.
And
Christ, I'm knocking shit over.
The other one was red, if I remember right.
Right? He's around here somewhere. He's on my desk somewhere.
Oh, well.
Or he's fallen off. But I have I bought him a long time ago, I feel like. I mean, honestly, I feel like I bought him.
He was like the Series 1.
Oh, here he is. 2. I bought him before the first FrankenCon, I think. And then I ended up taking him out of the package.
Yeah, so he comes with the yellow saw, but now he's going to come with the green saw, which is like mostly known for part 2, I believe, where the saw is green.
They're doing the Pretty Lady one.
Yeah, I saw that.
That one, I need to get that one.
Yeah. I mean, I'll probably get that one at some point, too. Oh, and then I found John Carver I showed you.
Yeah, you found John Carver. That one's awesome.
Yeah, pretty cool figure. And
I mean, I like that it comes with a decapitated turkey head, but it's like, what the fuck do you do with it?
You just set it on the shelf in the package. That's what I do. And the only other one I do want to get is John from Saw when that one comes out, if it hasn't, because I think they were doing like a double pack.
I have it.
Oh, okay. Well, I missed it.
I have a single one. I found it in the store.
Oh, well, you go to hell then.
I mean, I can't help it. I'm better than you.
Your target is.
He's down to. Sometimes I do find I mean, I finally found that business suit Casey, so that's cool.
Yeah. So the one you have, the Toonie Terror that you have, is that the one where he's in the red cloak and it's just him? Because the new pack is going to come with, or if it's already out, I can't tell. But it's like him in the black cloak that, you know, they always wear, all of him and his followers. And I think it comes with Billy the puppet on the tricycle. So it's like a
Toonie Terror does?
Yeah.
That's I mean, I know they're doing the ultimate and it looks awesome, but I'll have to look at the Toonie Terror one.
I don't know if you could see it, but it's not a good
thing. Yeah. I can kind of see it.
There's Billy right there.
Oh, yeah.
And then the pig head, obviously. The pig head's cartoony, and I think that's hilarious.
Yeah, because he comes with a bear trap, I think, in the first
The reverse bear. Well, this one comes with the reverse bear trap, the pig mask, Billy on a trike, and then him with his like saw, his Assassin's Creed like hidden blade saw.
I think he has that in this one, in the first one too.
Yeah, I need to find it though because I'd like that one.
It's so funny. Saw. I'm going to go off on Saw for a second because it's so funny. Because it's like, what's popular? It's like, I mean, puppets are okay. Put that in. What could we do? He needs a mask. How about a pig's head? It's like, okay, cool. And then it's like, we need. He needs to have some sort of weapon. Well, what about the like a blade that comes out? It's like none of it makes sense.
They're like, what do slashers have? Masks, puppets, weapons. So, okay, what do you want to give him like themes? No, everything random, please. Please, everything random.
I mean, it is. It's just the complete batshit crazy. Like that movie series makes no sense.
That's why I think I love it more after we watched it because I was like, there were when you're like, let's do Saw, it's my favorite. I was like, oh god, this is gonna be a slog. And then I was like, 1, 2, and 3. I was like, okay, these are kind of whatever. I remember them being better. And then like as they got crazier and crazier and less sense, I was like, these are amazing. These are.
I mean, my favorite
so
one is
good.
when where they're in that barn and that Billy the puppet comes shattering through the window.
It's me, Billy. I'm here.
It's like, why?
Oh, Saw.
All right. Well, let's move on to Mr. Rob Zombie, who is one of the most divisive filmmakers in horror.
Yes.
I mean, some people love him, some people hate him, some people love some of his stuff, some people hate some of his stuff.
What about Jason? What's he think?
Oh, I couldn't get to the mute. Woo, man. I'm like that dad sneeze. You don't watch TikTok, but have you ever watched the McFarlanes? You can watch
the
them
brother
on,
and the dad.
Yeah.
They're pretty funny.
They have a dad sneeze. Just type in dad sneeze and McFarlane's. That's me. Because he's like, and they're all running, and then the music is like dun 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 dun, and then he's like, and they're diving, and it's hilarious. It's great. Well, Jason down at the dungeon probably doesn't like the Rob Zombie movies.
Well, he's got bad taste, so
he loves Halloween by John Carpenter, so I'm pretty sure he hates Rob Zombie's Halloween. That's how most of it goes. And but what Jason does have is lots of things that you want to buy because it's Jason down at the dungeon, one of our favorite people. He's been sponsoring this show for a long time now, and we really appreciate him. So there's 2 things you can do. You can visit his shop. You can go to East Broadway and Maryville, Tennessee. You can hit the roundabout, go behind Southland Books and Cafe, and hit the dungeon right behind there. Or you can go to Instagram and follow Southland_Dungeon on Instagram or Facebook. Now, if you're not local like Jeff, you can just look at his Instagram, and if he posts something and you like it, you can just message him and make a deal, and whammo jammo, you got a new Blu-ray, VHS, DVD, Laserdisc, beta. I mean, anything really. Video games, tarot cards, board games. He's got just tons of stuff. Vinegar Syndrome stuff, Terrorvision stuff. He doesn't get in Severn.
Maybe he will. They just put out that cool Clones of Bruce Lee box set.
I saw that. Oh, and I will say this because this episode comes out tomorrow, which is the 26th. But on the 27th, Vinegar Syndrome is doing their sale right now, and it's their partner sale, so it's fine. There are some good ones in there, but most importantly is Game of Survival is on there, and Game. Huh?
Okay, go ahead. No, I was saying, oh yeah.
Game of Survival is on there. It's fantastic. It's $10 with the slipcover, and after the 27th, it's gone.
Yeah, that's one of the partner labels that are going away, right?
Yeah. And it's great. It's like the galaxy is having a Running Man on Earth, so they send all their galactic like warriors to Earth.
Yeah.
It's great. I love it.
I
I'm a
don't know
big
why we
fan.
haven't covered that yet.
I mean, we haven't covered a lot. Like, I mean, I like Blood Games.
What the hell do we do with our time?
Cover.
We go down to the dungeon.
So, Jason down at the dungeon. Just go follow him. Southland_dungeon. Hit him up and just see all the cool stuff he posts. He really does have some really cool stuff. He gets in old school stuff all the time. And one of the best horror VHS collections around. And if you're looking for something, he might just have it.
I hope so.
But yeah, I wanted to mention he also has Game of Survival. So if you do miss the Vinegar Syndrome sale, you can pick it up down there. It won't be $10, but you know, you can make a deal. But yeah, that movie's great. So big fan.
Yep.
But yeah, we should cover that, and we'll do that. We'll once we get. We said it one we were going to do for 151, but I forgot what it was. So. Did you write it down?
No, that list, I don't know where that went.
Yeah, it was a newer movie, I think, but we'll make we're gonna do another event that's better than the Trilogy of Terror. We'll have a better list because that one was rough.
Trilogy
Well, it
of
was rough on
Disaster, are you
listeners
saying?
because apparently our listeners didn't really care for it.
They did not respond to it.
So anyway, we will. We'll work on something, but we're going to talk about Rob Zombie's Firefly Trilogy, which consists of. Here we go. Drum roll. House of 1,000 Corpses. Dun, dun. This is the house. Come on in. Devil's Rejects.
Yep.
One of my favorite movies of all time at one time.
Uh-oh.
Ebert and Rober gave it 2 thumbs up.
Huh.
The commentary to Devil's Rejects is fantastic, and also is it Devil's or House that has the? I think it's Devil's that has the Captain Spaulding. Like it just has 3 hours of Sid Haig just being crazy.
I don't think I've watched that.
Anyway, and then we got 3 from Hell.
Yeah,
Corey's yelling at me. Corey from Spooky Dudes because he loves that title screen, but I think it's Devil's. But 3 from Hell. This is a steelbook. Have you seen this, Jeff?
The movie or the steelbook?
The steelbook.
I've seen both at this point.
Well, this is my favorite part. Have you seen this?
I think you might have showed me, but go ahead. Oh yeah. You showed me that. I like that.
The slipcover is badass because it's interactive with the with behind it. So it's the 3 from Hell. It's gorgeous art with Richard Brake, Wolfman, Otis, and Baby. But then when you remove, you could slowly pick up the slipcover, and it's them with skulls. So
Yeah, that's cool.
it's awesome.
Did
I love it.
what was I gonna say? Didn't you get the 3-pack of that too? The Walmart exclusive.
I do have it somewhere. I looked for it and I couldn't find it.
Yeah,
but I'm a sucker, so I buy anything.
that was a steelbook too, wasn't it?
So me and Corey met Walter Phelan a couple weeks ago, like I mentioned, and I don't know if I mentioned this then, but he told us that I don't know if he let it slip or what. I haven't heard it announced, but there's supposed to be a director's cut of Devil's Rejects coming out.
That's what you were.
And the cool thing is so apparently he shot a ton of footage just because he had it and he could. And there's a talk show version with Dr. Satan. So that would be awesome. And if you haven't seen Devil's Rejects, the director's cut, that there is a Dr. Satan segment in there with Rosario Dawson.
Yeah.
And it's awesome, but ultimately it got cut. I mean, it doesn't really fit in with the movie, but I think it would make the movie more tied to the trilogy if they had that in.
Yeah.
Tiny sort of ties it still, but it does feel like a single movie.
Yeah.
But let's talk about it. So, House of a Thousand Corpses came out. Well, it was done in '99. It didn't come out till 2003, and I mean, Universal hated it. I mean, they shelved it for years. I mean, and the internet was around, but it wasn't very good. Not that it's great now, but I mean, you didn't have as many sources and stuff, so nobody really knew anything about the movie. And then I think Saw came out, and I think that helped push things along a little bit, maybe.
Yeah.
But yeah, Universal hated what he was doing.
Yeah.
And he did the movie uh, with a pretty great cast. I mean, Chris Hardwick is in House, and Dwight Schrute is in there.
Dwight Schrute.
Huh?
Dwight Schrute.
Schrute, whatever. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't watch The
All the
Office.
same.
It's a shitty show. Why would I watch it? um. So, and they're great in it. I mean, they're not really in it that long. I mean, they're probably in it for an hour or so, maybe 45 minutes. But so I've come to a realization that, especially for House and Devil's Rejects, like I sort of akin them to Full Metal Jacket. And what I mean by that is, for most of my youth and adult life, like into my 20s, I thought that Full Metal Jacket ended with the suicide.
Yeah.
Because the first person that showed it to me, like, turned it off after that. And I was like, okay, cool. I mean, it's like an hour and a half. So I was like, I mean, that's probably fine. That's a quick movie. That was funny. So I had no idea there was this whole war movie after that happens.
Yeah.
And I sort of feel like House and Devils is like that, whereas they just feel so like you could literally stop watching them at a certain point and be okay.
Yeah, and the thing, it's weird too, because House is only like an hour and 23 minutes.
Yeah. And
It's pretty
and
quick,
look,
but
I'm
it
not
feels
shitting
long.
on any of these movies. I'm going to say both positive and negative about things about these movies. I like them all. I like all three of them.
Yeah.
House honestly is probably my least favorite, and now Corey hates me because it's one of his favorite movies. I mean, House is just, I mean, it is sort of like this. It's like giving like just a bunch of people like a haunted house and say, do what you want. And they did this with a movie, and he created, like, it's like, okay, what we're gonna do is we're gonna have this clown. He's going to have this murder death ride. And then there's going to be this legend of Dr. Satan, and it's a tree. And the kids are going to go find that. But then this family, this crazy family that lives there, shoots out the tire. And then there's a hitchhiker, and they shoot out the tire, and they go back to the house, and it's kind of like nothing but trouble. And there's just this weird stuff going on. And Rob Zombie has this weird thing with masks, I'm finding out,
The
because
paper mache masks.
yeah, like Halloween, Devil's Rejects, House, like all of them use that. And it's just, and then by the time you get to like the one girl escaping at the end of House through the corridors, I'm just like exhausted.
Yeah, you
And I
get
don't
Texas
know that I
Chainsaw Massacre.
care.
You get Texas Chainsaw Massacre at the end where, she gets out basically.
Yeah.
It feels like that. It
Yeah. I
feels
mean,
very Alice in Wonderland with going down the hole and the rabbits and all that stuff.
and then there's this weird creature. I've got some of the action figures Corey got me for Christmas. Actually, I have Dr. Satan and whatever they're called, the Rippers, or I don't know what they're called.
I mean, there's like you. I like all three of these movies honestly, and they're very artistic pieces, like a visual thing. So like that's
House is the most.
yeah, for sure. Like
House
there's
is
just so
where he
many
goes.
visuals. And then it
It,
gets to kind of be in Devils. It begins to be music cues where Rob Zombie's really like, I'm going to show people how I listen to classic rock and southern rock, and it's a lot of that, and that's fine. And he does that with Halloween as well, like the Halloween movies as well.
I mean, because they're all based in the '70s, and I'm sure he loves the '70s rock, and that's
Yeah,
what a lot of people love.
yeah, and nothing wrong with that. It's just they are what they are, but they're very visual, and like this one especially, like you're saying. And I don't think that we talked about Chris Hardwick a few weeks back, where I kind of like love hate him, and he kind
Yeah.
of got annoying when he got real famous, and then he like fell from fame again because of cancel culture and stuff like that, and it's just kind of like whatever. But at the point when I watched this a long time ago, I think I was at the point where I was like, man, I was not happier to see an on-screen death. Like this is, I'm like happy to see it like I was to see Paris Hilton in House of Wax. Like I was like, dang, this is like right up there with that. Like those two getting like destroyed on screen was like what I wanted and what I needed. But it's whatever, because he's kind of, he plays just the annoying guy. And you're like, dang, dude,
come
tone
on,
it
that
down.
doctor, when he says Dr. Satan, that's one of the most memorable things about any Rob Zombie movie.
Just him screaming.
Yeah, Dr. Satan.
I mean, like I did with it once or twice, but he did it like 50 times.
I honestly want the movie where they're just going around to these different attractions.
Yeah, that's fine. And it's so
getting
weird,
into
like,
trouble.
yeah, and it's weird too, because like at the beginning of this, we get Captain Spaulding's like little intro and his thing, and like we get a whole little, basically like a little short film. It's like him hanging out at his like gas station / chicken place.
And then there's a robbery.
Just kills them, and then the people show up. And it's like, wow, that was a weird intro. And you go from there, and then you get a whole new movie. That's what you're saying. Like you could think it's over because you're getting a whole movie.
I mean, yeah, and just like, I mean, basically, you could, after Alligator Boy and all that, like, I mean, before the girl escapes, you could just shut it off and be fine.
Yeah.
Realistically.
Yeah. And Rob Zombie, watching all these again this time, I realized like he has some interesting choices for edits and cuts and like
And I don't mind being negative about these movies because Rob Zombie hates them all.
Because of studio interference? Or?
I mean, just if you listen to any interview or any commentary about any movie Rob Zombie hates, he hates the Munsters, he hates Halloween, he hated Halloween 2, he only did Halloween 2. Huh?
So what does he
make? That's what I'm saying. He's just a grumpy old man that somebody's like, make this movie, and then he makes it, has a miserable time, and then he just shits all over it.
I wonder if he does that to try to fit in with all the people that like crap all over his movies.
Yeah, I mean, it probably is a thing where it's like, see, you can't hate it because I hate it, so fuck you.
I just hate everything I do in my job. I'm Hot Topic Randy Savage.
Hot Topic Randy
Savage. Classic meme.
So, yeah, the house is just, it really does feel like a mishmash of everything. I mean, you've got Baby dressing up like Shirley Temple or something, and
weird like art performance she does.
Yeah, and like it's just weird. And I mean,
we didn't even mention the like 5 cheerleaders or whatever like storyline that's going.
But yeah, that's a whole other story that's going on.
Yeah. I really feel like he could do episodes of stuff and be better off than making movies sometimes, because he could shoot like a solid 15 to 25 minute like thing and keep you entertained. Then he throws some random stuff in and you're like, what the hell happened? Like, what are we doing now?
Yeah, I really think he would do good with like a 6-hour like mini series, sort of like Matt the what's his name?
Who would he be?
The mass market, mass Sunday, black mass. What's that Netflix show?
Again.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I can see that.
I mean, one thing I will say about House of a Thousand Corpses, I mean, out of the 3, it is definitely the most horror movie of them all.
Yeah.
Like, if there's a horror movie, it's this one.
Yeah, they kind
I
of
mean,
lose
the
that.
other ones turn into like what exploitation kind of grindhouse stuff.
Yeah, they do.
So, I mean, I do think the first 45 minutes of House is really great, and I love it a lot. I'm not crazy about the ending, especially like the last 30 minutes or so. That becomes a weird like ritual, and I mean, it is. It's just like six movies in one,
It
and it
really
gets a
is.
little draining by the end. But I still appreciate it. Still like it. Watched it all the other day. Um, I think. I mean, I think it gets shit on a lot, and it shouldn't. I mean, I think Rob Zombie gets shit on a lot, and he shouldn't. But then we come to 2005, and he does Devil Rejects. And I was at San Diego Comic Con in 2005.
Yeah,
And I think Devil's Rejects came out in August, and Comic Con is usually in July. So he was actually there. There was a huge Devil Rejects promotion there.
really.
Yeah, like they had the car there. I don't know if it was the actual car or what, but the one at the end,
Yeah,
and it's just and he was there. Sherry Moon Zombie was there, and we didn't even say that. They met on the set, from what I've heard, and Sherry Moon definitely gets shit on way more than she should.
yeah. She didn't do nothing wrong. I don't know why.
Although Although my favorite meme ever is Rob Zombie's Jaws, and it's Jerry Moon Zombie on the cover, like the Jaws shark.
Yeah,
That's pretty funny.
yeah, that's
um,
good.
but Devil's Rejects. So I was just fascinated by the whole premise of Devil's Rejects, and like I like the look a lot more than House. Like we said, it was Grindhouse. I mean, Otis is like completely different in this one. I mean, in the first one, he's not as dirty, or I mean, he is. I don't know. Otis is just weird. Maybe it's the makeup that throws me off in the first one and stuff. But Otis just in Devil's Rejects, he's amazing. I
Yeah,
mean, all three of them, the chemistry between him, Sid Haig, and Baby Sherry Moon Zombie is just crazy.
it
I
feels
mean,
like they're just like dirty, grimy people that are like bad people that hung out, and they just it feels that way.
I like that he ties the whole trilogy together quite nicely. So in the first movie, in House, we didn't even talk about Walter Goggins being in it, and Walter Goggins is like huge right now.
Yeah,
And he's in a very memorable moment in House of a Thousand Corpses. But anyway, his partner got killed as well in that movie, and his brother is like the hero. We'll use quotation marks around that.
the guy that plays the sheriff in Devils.
Yeah, Wydell.
Yeah,
I mean, he's supposed to be the hero, right? He's the one that's killing the bad guys.
right. I
But,
mean, Rob
you
Zombie
know,
plays with like character arcs like quite a bit in this and the Three from Hell. Like
no,
what
a hundred
what
percent.
you're
This,
supposed to want or what you're supposed to believe or like the typical like like okay, the bad guys are bad, good guys are good. Now this guy's like a hero, but he's an anti-hero, and then the bad guys turn into like anti-heroes because other badder guys are trying to get
I
them.
mean,
And
he does this amazing thing where he makes the bad. I mean, like these three people you should not root for at all, and you're rooting for them.
yeah,
But I love the opening scene. The shootout in the house is amazing, which has masks. Um, the shootout of the house is amazing. Uh, I love Tiny Matthew McGorry in this movie. I really love him. He passed away before the movie premiered, and so there's an in loving
I got a
memory.
question for you. Maybe you'll know it, maybe you won't. Karen Black plays Mother in the first one. She
Yeah.
didn't die until 2013. So what happened?
So I think there was just a thing that she didn't want to do it or money thing. I think it really was that. Like,
Okay.
I think it. I don't know exactly, but I remember. So I got to meet Bill Moseley back in like 2013, I think,
Yeah.
and maybe 2012, and I met him and Leslie Easterbrook, but I didn't even really realize that who Leslie Easterbrook was until I got to the con.
Yeah.
And so Leslie Easterbrook took Karen Black's place. Leslie Easterbrook is also the big boob girl in Police Academy.
Yeah.
So I I wasn't going to get Leslie Easterbrook. I was just going to get Bill Moseley. Moseley was cool. And I ended up standing in line for Easterbrook, and she just took the time and talked to you. And I mean, she was amazing. She really was. And I remember her telling me, like, I was like, I'm so glad you were in the second one, because I mean, I liked her a lot in the second one. I liked Mother Firefly a little better. And because that's just me. I mean, I like Devils better, but and Karen Black was just too, I don't know. Mother Firefly just seemed more realistic to me in Devil's Rejects. So I think there was just something that happened, and they didn't they
Yeah,
didn't
I don't
they
know
she
what
didn't
happened.
come back.
I'd be curious to see if it's on a doc or on something. But I was kind of bummed to not see her there. But like you, I think that the other lady played Mother Firefly pretty well. Like I thought it was interesting her take
I
on
think it
it.
matched this movie.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know
I
if Karen
mean,
Black would have played it the same.
yeah, I mean, I think this movie. I think Leslie did a great job. But so she's in the movie quite a bit, much longer than I remembered. Um, so basically, the three escape. Baby and Otis escape, and Captain Spaulding gets called and says, "Hey, get your ass down here." And so everybody dies except for Mother Firefly, Baby, and Otis. And
Right.
Captain Spaulding gets Baby and Otis, or actually, no, they meet.
Yeah.
Yeah, Baby and Otis, I'm sorry, my apologies. Baby and Otis flee, and they meet up with Captain Spaulding
Yeah,
eventually
and they meet up with him, and they're at what's his face is
at the motel.
at the motel
Great
with the
scene.
truck driver from Halloween.
Ken Foray,
Convoy, yeah.
Charlie.
Yeah, but I mean, like, essentially, he could have been playing the same guy. We don't know. Like the Halloween movies, kind of, Rob Zombie's take on the Halloween movies, kind of just feel like they fit into this universe
Oh,
too.
100%.
Like that's kind of what I like about them. Like it's
Yeah.
just more Rob Zombie.
So everybody's dead except for them, and it basically becomes a road trip. And uh, yeah, I love the movie. I love the banter between Otis, Baby, and well, we find out his name is Cutter, or
Yeah,
at least that's what normal name is. And what scenes stick out in this to you? The motel scene, obviously.
yeah. The motel scene, the hostage scene, kind of.
You know who the girl was, right? The blonde that he makes take off her clothes and
The mom
stuff.
or whatever.
Yeah.
She looked familiar, but I couldn't pin it down.
Let's just say you'll never watch Three's Company again the same way.
Really?
Yeah, she was Nurse Chrissy.
Oh wow.
So she was after, um,
Yeah.
or Nurse Cindy. Hell, one of them. She was the nurse. Terry. Her
Yeah.
name was Terry on the show.
Okay.
She was the nurse.
Yeah.
So not Suzanne Summers, the other.
Right.
And if you're a Kevin Smith fan, she was the psychic, the fortune teller in Mallrats with the three nipples.
Yeah.
Yeah, I met her at a convention. She was very nice. I've met most of these people. That's been my goal. Like, I've got most of their autographs. I actually meant to bring them up for the YouTube audience, but I have Sid Haig. Bill Moseley, William Forsythe. When I
Ken?
was at, huh?
Ken?
I've never met Ken. We were supposed to have him at FrankenCon, and I've never met him. Danny Trejo is gonna be at Fanboy Expo,
Yeah.
so that if I could get to him, that would be cool.
Do you have Diamond Dallas Page?
I met Diamond Dallas Page was at the same convention that Bill Moseley was at,
Okay.
and but I just thought of Diamond Dallas Page as a wrestler. Like I was just like whatever. Like I didn't really consider him in the movie.
I just think of him as a yoga instructor.
I mean, that's what I think of him now. So anyway, the story goes is Jake the Snake was there, and this was
Uh-huh.
when he was trying to help Jake the Snake, and Jake had just had his shoulder surgery. He was finally on the mend, and I mean, it was. I mean, that was the last time I truly met somebody I cared about, and like I had like now I don't really invest feelings into anybody, but like Jake was like like growing up, it was just him and Brutus Beefcake were my wrestlers.
Yeah.
And he was a complete asshole to me, and he made fun of me in public, and I've told the story in other places and whatever, but he pissed me off, and Diamond Dallas Page was right next to him. And then my buddy Steve was with me, and Steve wanted to meet Diamond Dallas Page. So we went over there, and Steve's like talking about his career, his wrestling career, and all this. And Diamond Dallas Page is like, yeah, and I've got this yoga thing. And so he just wanted to talk about yoga. But you asked if I have DDP's autograph. I do. But it's on like this yoga. It's on the YRG, what it used to be called.
Uh-huh.
Because now it's DDP yoga. But before it was YRG, yoga for real guys.
Yeah.
Fucking stupid. And it was like a bookmark, and he just wrote DDP real shitty on it and was giving them out.
Yeah.
So yes, I do.
Long story short, yeah.
But yeah, and I have some others too. I can't really remember off the top of my head what other ones I have, but I mean I have some of the lesser ones too. I mean I have Walters now and such, but at the 2005 San Diego thing, I didn't really know how it worked, and so I didn't get in it. But you had to do a lottery to meet Rob Zombie and Sherry Moon Zombie.
Yeah.
So there are some people out there that got to meet Sherry Moon Zombie.
Well.
Which is really tough.
Yeah. She probably don't want to deal with people. Neither does he, I'd assume.
I mean, no, neither of them probably do. But Sid Haig was also there, and they made not. I don't think it was NECA. I don't know who it was, but they made the set of Baby and Otis, or Baby and Captain Spaulding, and it had a blank spot and for them to sign.
Oh wow.
And I had that set for a long time, but I got rid of it like everything else. I used to have Tiny too.
Oh.
I had a loose Tiny, and he came with a little tree stump. But he came with a bag. I mean, he's great.
Yeah. Huh.
So anyway, I love Devils. I think it's great. I think the end is a little weird. I mean, like with Charlie turning on him. Also, I can't see E.G. Daily in anything without hearing Tommy from Rugrats.
Yeah.
And to see her in this movie in the role she is just fucking weird.
Yeah, that's the other thing I thought of. I was like, man, I don't know how she got into that position.
Yeah, like how'd you get her? I mean, it's probably like a lot of things. Just ask.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, you'll either get them or not.
That's true.
So anyway, yeah, I love Devils. I think it's a great movie. The end. I think there's a few things that hurt this as a trilogy. Some of it is that they don't feel like Devils and Three from Hell feel connected in the way they're filmed and shot. But I think it's unfortunate that Richard Brake wasn't in Devils ever. I wish that had happened.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, if they were to do it and Sid Haig was still alive, they'd want him in it. But
He would have
Richard
been
coming in,
interesting.
Richard filling in and becoming like a third main works. And like you're saying, it would have felt even more natural and like better if he had been in Devils with him. But he wasn't. So unfortunately, we don't get that. But
And what this family tree is
oh
fucked.
yeah. That's the other thing. And I mean, like we lose we lose so much of the horror elements in Devils
Yeah.
and Three from Hell, that it kind of hurts it as a trilogy, in my opinion. I mean, they're all fine, I think, on their own, and then two and three together are good, and one and two together are good. But like, if you look at it as like a one, two, three, it's just so weird how much, because they have all these crazy horror elements where what it boils down to is like a family that just tortures and kills and kind of does whatever they want, like Wild West almost. Like they just do what they want, they live how they want, they're dirty, they're grimy, they're killers, they don't care, and they're just living until they're dead, and that's that. But you lose so much of the family in between one and two, and the shootout and all that stuff, and then you're left with this where in I guess we'll go on to Three from Hell now, where we get a thing where they're in jail, for 20 to 30 minutes of the movie, and then
Well, in 10 minutes, 10 years.
yeah, 10 years. And I mean, we get Baby transitioning because she kind of lost her mind in jail, essentially. And even Bill Moseley's character is like, she's changed, man. Like, she's lost it. But, like, I mean, she doesn't, after he says that, she doesn't seem to lose it. But, like, she's having those visions in jail. She's beating up the
Yeah.
guard. Like,
Definitely in jail, she's going crazy. She does seem to like sober up a little bit once they get out.
yeah, sober up when they get back out and do a bunch of drugs and drinking. So,
Yes.
um, it's
We
just
get
a
Dee
weird,
Wallace as a prison guard.
yeah.
That's an interesting character.
Yeah, and then the whole we get what's his face that played Munster.
Daniel
Daniel's Jeff.
Roebuck.
Is it Daniel Roebuck?
Oh, well, Daniel Roebuck is one of the newscasters. He plays Grandpa, and then we get
Jeff
Jeff Daniel
Daniels.
Phillips
Yeah, there you go, Jeff Daniels.
as the warden, and he's in this movie a lot.
Yeah,
And I like him. I like his character. Part of the issue I have is like the house. When Otis and Wolfman go to the house, it kind of feels like the motel, right?
yeah, it's that again.
It's basically the same thing, and so I really, and even down to the girl running running out of the house naked,
Yeah, exactly.
and it's like, so it's part of me like hates that part, but then in watching it again, I mean, I think that's why the movie doesn't work for a lot of people, is because it kind of feels the same. I
Yeah,
mean, I do like the kind of prison escape kind of thing and all that, and like I'm glad they brought Danny Trejo back for kind of wrap that up, and it moves this storyline on. Um, but I think yeah, and I
no, I
think
hear what you're saying.
Devils did such a good job of like killing them, and I didn't
That's the
have
other
a
thing.
problem of them living,
No,
but some people did. And so it does kind of hurt Devil's Rejects in a way. But then we get Sid, and he doesn't look good in this movie. I mean, it's right at the end, but I'm really glad he's in it, and I'm glad we could get him back. He's such a nice guy, and I mean, it just sucks he couldn't do the whole movie and couldn't do it. I mean, because that's what happened. Like, he was just so sick and just couldn't do it, and but filmed what he could, and they killed him. They executed him.
yeah,
Uh, and then, we get another escape. And so Otis and Baby are on the run with Wolfman. They go to this house, they torture these people, and then they kill them. And there's this weird fucking clown that comes. I don't
what's his?
understand
That's
it. It
Ice
makes
Cream
me
Man.
mad. It's Clint Howard.
Yeah,
And but it makes me mad. Like, I'm like, that it doesn't make any sense. It's like Rob Zombie just did that to do it.
yeah. I don't know why. Just to throw a wrench in to change it from the motel scene, I guess would be the only
It
thing I could.
doesn't.
No, it's
Um,
totally pointless. other
Yeah.
than he wanted to kill a clown.
So anyway, then they go to Mexico after Baby kills Sean Whalen. We have a lot of cameos in these movies. Barry Bostwick is apparently a cameo in as a narrator and one of the newscasters at the beginning.
Yeah.
Um, and then we get Poncho Moeller, who was in 31, and he's in Candy Corn, I think.
Yep.
And he's great. So they go to Mexico, and like Devil's Rejects, Charlie ratted them out. Well, in this one, the guy rats them out and calls Danny Trejo's son, and the Black Satans come.
Yeah.
And I love the end of Three from Hell is very satisfying to me. Not the very end, but like the last 25 minutes with the luchadors and the suits and like Baby and the headdress. The other thing is please, Rob Zombie. I mean, I know you didn't really write this as a trilogy, but could we have at least seen Baby, a flashback with Baby with a fucking bow and arrow at some
She's
point
so
in the
good
movie?
at it. She's so good.
It's like her main weapon now, and it's like, why? Where did that come from?
The
I
ending
will,
that
but like you said about the imagery of Baby in the headdress with a bow and arrow, fucking awesome.
yeah, it's really cool. Like it's always on the artwork you see for Three from Hell too. Her in
Yeah, and she's on the dresser and like fucking.
But it felt like the last 20 minutes with the luchadors and all that stuff. It felt like a Robert Rodriguez movie to me, or like something him and Tarantino would have worked on.
It certainly feels sort of like it doesn't really feel like Rob Zombie.
No, it feels
The
like
end of it, like the shootout,
Once Upon a Time in Mexico, or
Yeah.
something. The other one with Antonio Banderas, Desperado, yeah, feels like something like that. It just feels, which I have no problem with because I like those movies and I like Robert Rodriguez. So it's like it is what it is, but it feels so different, and it just I do like how it all kind of pans out. So, and I think this movie gets a lot of hate. I could see like we're saying
hate, and I think it's
late cycle Rob Zombie, and everybody at this point is like, oh, no matter what he does, I'm gonna hate it regardless.
Well, plus it came out, 14 years after Devil's Rejects. I think if this movie had come out after Halloween 2, I think it would have bounced
back his career.
It could have, or even after Halloween, I think it would have helped a lot.
Yeah.
But, it's just frustrating. Like, he's a little frustrating to me because, I would like to have a talk with him and just, like, really get to know him. Because, I love his movies, but I just think sometimes I just don't know what happens. Is it the movie studio that gets involved? Is it him? I don't know.
Yeah, it's hard to tell. You don't know what to believe when
why don't you just use your own money and make a movie? And
didn't he do that technically with his and everybody else's for 31 and that movie? You said that one you hate.
God, it's awful. it's really tough. It's a tough watch.
Just once?
I watched it one time when it came out on DVD.
See, I've watched it once. I didn't hate it. I don't think as much as everybody else. I just hate it.
Like, I hate the wacky parts of it, and the end is like, I just don't know why end it like that. And I could say the same thing about Three from Hell. Like, the way this ends, it's fucking bullshit if he never planned on making another one, which I know he doesn't. We would have had one by now.
Give it 20 years.
Yeah, another 14. But it's bullshit the way it ended. Like, I was happy with Devil's Rejects, how it ended. I felt closure. But now, you didn't even get really an ending of them riding off. You really only got the ending of the road from Devil's Rejects.
Yeah.
And it's just, I don't know. The ending, I don't remember the ending making me mad when I saw it in the theater. But watching it today, it really pissed me off. Like because it just literally they burn the guy alive and then it just goes to white screen.
Yeah, that was.
They're not even like it's like we don't even get like Baby like saying what are we gonna do next, and then like some quip. And I mean Brake and him are so good together, like they really do act like brothers.
Yeah.
I just don't. I don't know either, man. And I really I do like this movie a lot. I like Three from Hell. Honestly, sometimes more. Like, I mean, there were parts of it I really like.
Yeah.
And I think overall it does a better job of beginning to end than the other ones.
Yeah, I'm in a weird spot on them. I don't know where I sit. Like,
I mean, like I will always go Devils first just because it meant a lot to me. And I would probably even go House second and Three from Hell last, even though I think Three from Hell is a little better. I just think it happened too late and there was too many things not perfect about it.
I think I'd go 1 and then like 2, 3 close second, but 2 still better. I don't know. I think it's
but
hard.
It is hard for me to even include House in that because it's so far different than the other two.
That's I think what I like about it is
it's not
just
bad. I don't hate it, but it makes it hard for a trilogy, right? Like to put it in order.
Yeah.
It's not like the Terminator series is mostly the same kind of movie, so you can better there's only 2, so it's real easy.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't count any of those.
I heard that they might have made some more, but actually, I don't hate 3. 3 gets a lot of hate on Terminator, and it's actually
I've only seen that once.
It's actually quite good.
Maybe I'll revisit those. I was thinking about like what summer blockbusters I want to watch, just because it's getting to be 500 degrees every single day, and I'm not going to leave the house. Huh?
Speed 2. You should do box office bombs. Speed 2, Battleship, John of Mars or whatever.
Yeah. No, I know which one you're talking.
And then ended out with Tomorrow, the Disney movie, the George Clooney Tomorrowland.
Yeah.
Oh, there's your quadrilogy you can watch.
I could probably say Lone Ranger was a bomb, right?
Oh yeah, I kind of meant to say that instead of Tomorrowland, but I forgot.
Well,
but yeah, Lone Ranger is a huge bomb.
Oh, could probably throw in Wachowski brothers or sisters film or whatever.
Speed Racer.
Yeah, I got that from Mike not too long ago. The Blu-ray.
Yeah.
But I was thinking that Jupiter Ascending or whatever they did that was.
I haven't seen it.
Channing Tatum and Mila Kunis, I think, were in that one.
Yeah, there was a whole Ender's Game was another one that bombed. You could do a whole space like sci-fi
with those movies. That
shitty sci-fi. Battleship gets a lot of hate, but it's good.
I've never seen it.
It's Transformers. It's weird, but it's good. All right. I have to get off here because we have run long because it's 150 episodes in the can for Night of the Nerdy Laser. I mean, I'm going to tell you to watch the Rob Zombie trilogy of Firefly, and, that's the way it is. If you haven't seen them, watch them. They're really unique. They're not like anything else that you'll see made in its time, and I think that's a good thing.
Yeah.
And if you love sexploitation movies, whatever.
Yeah, all that fits into this. And I mean, Rob Zombie was part of the Splat Pack, the labeled Splat Pack.
Yeah.
So, I mean, him, Eli Roth, Ty West, those guys. I think Ty West was in that. Maybe he was part of the Mumblecore stuff.
I think he was Mumblecore.
Well, anyway, man, I can't. The guy that did High Tension, I think, was in there.
Yeah.
The Descent guy was in there. So, I mean, the early 2000s, right after like the Iraq War and invasion and stuff, and all the Hostel and all that kind of different stuff that was happening then, we got movies like this that kind of came out just grimy, dirty stuff like that. So, if you're into that, definitely check them out. And they kind of get more crazy as you go, less horror. So,
yeah. Things you can do. You can email us at nightandnerdylaser@gmail.com. You can
Mhm.
follow us on YouTube at Night and Nerdy Laser. And you can follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Night of the Nerdy Lasers. Laser.
These
Just one laser.
sharks with lasers.
um, I don't know what we're going to do next week since we can't remember what it was, but we'll think of something and we'll schedule out the next 4 or 5 after that. So until next time, what should they do?
Keep it bloody.
Because somebody has to. I don't really have anything to say. It's fine.